Hello and welcome to a few Mixologist, the place on the internet thingy where vintage post-war carburation secrets are revealed and discussed. Case in point, this unit that I've got in front of me, this is a compound carburation setup, and this video is going to be about compound carburation, kind of how it originated, how it works, what are the advantages, disadvantages and whatnot. However, before I go any further, one of the things that I want to do through this video is I want to appeal to you, the public, the viewing public that is, on information about this setup, because I bought this unit and I've no idea where it comes from. I've been trying to search the internet, but I really can't find what the application of this. I suspect it might be some sort of homemade performance setup or some sort of maybe more Ford, I don't know. But if somebody can help me, please, that would be wonderful. I'll show you a bit closer what I'm working with here, so see if you can help me with the identification. So as you can see, you've got letters GE407 stamped here. So this sounds like it's a factory made piece. And if we look here, these are the openings, and let me put a ruler there so you can have an idea of size. So maybe within centers about what? It's 5.5 inches there, about across the middle. So anyway, this is and the carburetors are Zenith 30 VM, and this is a different one, so they're not exactly the same. Yeah, so, and again, I think they've both got more or less the same mounting, but this is the setup that I have. So if anybody can tell me where it comes from, I will be immensely grateful. Okay, so let's start with compound carburation. So first of all, how did we get here? So especially in the kind of post-war era, kind of post-1940, and especially in Detroit, they started coming up with engines that would rev much higher than previously. So when mainly it was kind of pre-war, it was mainly flatheads in your normal engine, and then they went to overhead valve, and therefore the RPM potential of those engines was so much greater. The problem was that the flow rate of carburetors wasn't just good enough to keep pace with those engines. I mean, carburetors evolved, but they took a while to evolve, and hence compound carburation. So for example, the Hudson Hornet American car had compound carburation, the Triple H carburation. There was a Buick Century, I think, that was compound carbureted as well. So there were lots of cars that had a system like this. And the basic of the system is that, if I want to, I'll bring the camera closer so I can show you the progression. Okay, so the system works by having two carburetors, but you have to bear in mind that, as it is the case in here, there is a passage between here and here. So technically, the cylinders, however many cylinders are in the car, let's say this is for a 4-cylinder engine, any cylinder can see both carbs. Yeah. So how does it work? At low RPM, you start using the first carb. So as it accelerates around here, so for normal kind of driving around, you are using only this side, and this one is closed. The throttle is completely closed. However, as you start going to higher RPM, what's happening is that this carb is open, and therefore at wide open throttle, like I'm here at the moment, what you've got is the two carbs feeding fuel on the engine. This was a bit larger than I envisaged, but And this is basically what I've just explained in kind of pictorial form, because here you can see flow, carburetor flow, and here you can see load. I hope it's not obscured by my billet, but here we go. So in a normal carburation setup, what will happen is that as you start accelerating, opening the throttle, and the load in the engine increases, the flow will increase up to that point where the carburetor couldn't flow anymore, the primary, that is. Yeah. Now with compound carburation, what compound carburation does essentially is give you like another leg up of the flow. Obviously this is simplified for demonstration reasons, but obviously in the blue line, this is compound carburation. You can have here up to a certain point, and this is the point where the secondary carburetor, if you want, opens up, and you get this additional flow from the other carburetor. So therefore the performance potential of the setup is much greater having a compound carburetor setup, and that's how it was done kind of in the olden days, so to speak. Now what is the advantage of compound carburation? So let's go through it. So here's the really big advantage of compound carburation, that what you can do is you can have an engine that behaves pretty much like a standard engine driving around in normal driving. So that would be it would be about like this, 25% of the throttle opening. So that gives you quite good, throttle response at lower RPM, reasonable fuel economy at kind of low speeds. However, if you need more power, that's where the secondary carburetor kicks in, and therefore it gives you a much better overall performance without, if you drive around and you drive slowly, you wouldn't hurt fuel economy. If you drive slowly, you wouldn't hurt your fuel economy. And this is so this is quite a neat aspect of the compound carburetor setup. So I hope you got something out of it. This video was useful, and I want to say thank you very much for watching. And if you've got any comments, questions, just put it down in the comments. And please, if you know where this setup comes from, do let me know. May come back to the channel at a later stage if I'm gonna fix them. But so far I don't know where they're from, so I need to understand before I do anything with them. I need to understand their application so I know what's my approach to rebuilding them. But anyway, for the time being, let's leave it here, and I want to say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.